Chaos. Blur.
All right, how we doing, everybody? Welcome back to the channel here. Happy February to everybody. 1 month down, 11 to go here in the year of 2026. And what can I really say about January except, well, it didn't suck. We had some pretty good streams. You know, we didn't have maybe as many of them as we did in December. In fact, we definitely didn't because December was kind of just a month of streams and really the month for a lot of things. But as far as January's went, decent month. You know, worked a little bit, worked a lot. I'm sure some of you did as well, getting back into things. Super cold month. I'm trying to think, what else can I tell you about January? Very cold, very, very snowy at times. But even when it wasn't snowing, like it hasn't been snowing the past few days, but it doesn't matter. It's so freaking cold out. Been like single digits or like 10 degrees for most of this stretch here. But starting off with February, we are indeed continuing with some supersonic days. Want to try to get more Sonic content on the channel, even if it's just here and there. And last time we did that, we played some Sonic Colors Ultimate, and of course today we're playing Sonic Generations. Now, this is not technically the original game. This is the PS5 remaster that was part of Sonic and Shadow Generations. Really one of the few times I kind of agree with Sega remaking a game. Not that Generations really need a remake, but the fact that they added Shadow Generations to me does actually make it somewhat more, I don't know, relevant, or I really don't know. Like, it's just one of those things where this game didn't really need a remake, but if they were going to do the Shadow Generations thing anyway, I can kind of get it. I want to see, how do I change Sonic out of the Sonic Adventure outfit? Like, I don't mind it, but it is a little bit weird for this game. Having him always as the, I don't know, I mean, I'll do it if I have to. This is, you know, Dreamcast Sonic. That's the model I have. Just, you know, it looks good, but Drop Dash, by the way, is, like, useful as classic Sonic, not so much as modern Sonic. But anyway, we'll go ahead and just, see what we got here. Got a ton of points here. Skill customization, a lot of things that I generally didn't use even in the original Sonic Generations, and we're just going to kind of blast through this game today, see what we can see. There is a lot to do, and I always do enjoy doing it, so that is what we are here for right now. We got for options. I do like that they kept a lot of like the legacy options, the fact that you can still have lives, which is nice. I mean, you can't have lives in Shadow Generations, but you know what? Fuck it. we're gonna just deal with classic, whatever it's called. I think there was a classic skin as well that I just don't have, where it's like a does he not have the drop dash? It's funny because the drop dash is a classic thing, but I thought there was a classic version for or a different version for classic Sonic as well, where it's like the Sonic Jam Sonic. Either way, let's just get in here. We'll figure it out. It's all good. Here for a good time. That's exactly what we're gonna get. Okay, yeah, there's a drop dash. This is just not in the hub world. Works better here because, you know, this drop dash was created for Sonic Mania, which was a classic game that followed very much in these, these Genesis titles. I mean, obviously, I don't think my opinion's that much different than others when it comes to Generations. I think it's a great game, but I do think the classic part was the slightly weaker part, but I still don't mind playing it. It's a nice little homage to the classic games. Not one-to-one, seems a lot more scripted, and, you know, there are some alternate pathways, but nothing that, like, made the originals as great as they were. Hey, look, a red ring. Yeah. Still, though, they did enough for this remaster to at least constitute releasing it. Again, don't think this is a game that needed one. I hear people saying they should remake Sonic Unleashed next. I really don't agree with that, even though, yeah, obviously it's an older game. It could maybe get some more stuff. Sure do... I'm sorry, what? I'm going to have to read that in a second. Although I think I already get the gist of what it says. Let me just make sure. Yes, they do keep the lives in this, which I enjoy. See, I like lives. Some people are like, oh, lives are pointless in newer games. Sure do yap a lot with no one here. That is true. That is true, but you know why I do that? Because, well, what is the reason not to? You know, I think I actually read this online even after I kind of was streaming for a while. I watched, like, a how-to video on, like, streaming and, you know, how can you, not necessarily build your audience, but just, like, how can you be, I don't know the word, but I think you know what I mean. Like, how do you get more clout, or I guess is the word on Twitch. And, like, part of it is, you know, talk like nobody's there, or I guess the opposite. Talk even when there is nobody there, you know what I mean? Like, people don't want to watch... You know, because I don't know. Maybe there are people there, so I don't want to be talking or not talking and just being like, well, guys, here we are, whatever. You know, there could be 5 people viewing and I don't know. So I always do go on the assumption that at least somebody's watching, and if they are, I don't want them to just watch me standing here. Like, do you have a talking Sonic doll flapping your gums? Say, oh, like talking. Kind of, yeah. That is a valid point. Yeah, I mean, it also depends on the game. Like, if this was a game I didn't know much about, maybe I would be a little quieter and just wait for people to show up who do know about the game, but I know a lot about this game, so even with nobody here, I can make my own conversation, and that's, to me, that's a skill. That's a skill. Where's your intro? Well, Mr. Greedy, it's right here.
John Lee, I am the White Bobby Games.
I suppose some congratulations are in order. It's not really something I planned for, but you are the first viewer of February 2026. Usually would have thought that would be Toaster, but no, you were the first one to show up to the first stream of the month. Play it again. Yeah, he loves it, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Talk about playing things when nobody's here or whatever. Like, it could be just Toaster and I on a late-night stream, not much going on, and out of nowhere, it's like, oh, play, John's graphic, and I'm like, well, okay. I mean, I feel like you'd be flattered to know that even in your absence, you know, we're always thinking of you, and that's... Not for nothing, you know, you do a good job of keeping the streams fresh and fun, and that can be hard to do, and let's face it, you're kind of watching me play the same things, or some variation of them over and over and over again. I mean, hell, what do I stream, like easily 250 times a year, which is like 2/3 of the year, so. No shortage of Chaos Blur content, even during the busy periods, or the slow periods, I guess. My busy periods are my slow streaming periods, so if I'm busy doing other stuff, that means you might only get 3 streams a week instead of 5, you know? Like, it's really not that much of a drop-off. But for some people, it is. For some people, I get like, oh, Bobby, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I didn't stream for 2 days. Like, it's okay. Like, I appreciate the concern, but it's not like I, you know, just gave up. Like, I just took, like, a 2-day break, not even. And that will happen. I mean, it might even happen this week. It might happen next week. I don't know. I think my longest quote-unquote break was like 5 days, and that happened once, like 2 years ago, and everybody freaked out like I just died, which is really funny because, what was I going to say? It's really funny to me that a 5-day break created that much of a controversy, like, especially with people who know me, like people who see me in real life. So, like, you obviously knew I was healthy and alive and well and showing up to things. Not like I was just cooped up at home doing nothing. Like, I was clearly available to stream. I just chose not to for a few days. God forbid. Here's a lav mic tested. Oh, all right. Let me just. That's me putting a lav mic on. I'm not wearing a collared shirt really. I'm wearing a T-shirt. So, test 1 2. Test 1 2. It's a little off. Could you give me a little more boost over there? Okay. Yeah. So now I'm wearing a lav mic, so that might interfere with my headset a little bit. Actually, headsets are pretty cool, I gotta say. I like the Countryman and the various kinds of headset mics we have at work. This is not really a headset you would see at a business event, clearly. I really not taking off my shirt. I will take some requests from the audience. At some point, I gotta draw the line for both myself and the viewers. And again, it's been a little while since I played this game. It's obviously not a game that I'm very familiar with here. It is a game I'm very familiar with here. I don't know what I'm saying. Watching, oh god, there's a fun word. That's a fun little word. What's going on, IDM Pod? How's your weekend as we wrap things up here with Sunday? Did you have to work today? It's always like the go-to question. It's either like, what's the weather, or did you have to work today? Or both. But we all know what the weather is. The weather sucks, so I'm not going to waste time on, how's the weather? Like, did it get warm? No, of course it didn't get warm. But maybe you worked today. I don't know. That's something I'm not 100% sure on. I worked yesterday. And that's not why I didn't stream yesterday. I honestly just didn't feel like it. Like it's sometimes it is just as simple as like I had the time, I just didn't feel like it. Like sometimes I don't have the time. It's a whole thing. The fact that I even have to explain this, and I'm not saying I have to, but I choose to because I like to communicate with people. Believe me, it's like, why did you stream? It's like, well, why didn't you stream? Like, I don't know, talking to somebody else. Like, why did you stream? Like, I didn't make you not stream. Everybody can do it. Fuck if I can do it. Just want to see what was back here. Apparently nothing. If I can stream, anybody can stream. You need a computer, a webcam, and hell, you don't even need a good voice. You just need a voice. Just start talking. You don't even have to, you really don't have to talk. I've seen some streams where it's just the game. And that's fine. Depends on what the game is. Depends on the person. If they're really good at typing, I guess. I don't know. But there's nothing wrong with that. I talk because it's all I got. You know, I'm not exactly a master gamer. Like, see, if I was a really good gamer, some people do want to see that. They just want to see somebody, you know, set the world record for something. They don't really care if they talk about it. They just want to see, like, you know, the best Doom player in the world, you know, like wipe out the level in like a second, you know. That's impressive. I can understand that. In Sonic 2, you got any tips to beat the chemical plant level? Well, this level, which is obviously from Sonic 2, like you mentioned, this is not really based on the original level. This is a very dumbed-down version. I mean, yes, it looks like it, but to beat the actual Sonic 2 level, is that one you struggled on? That actually is a level that a lot of people struggled on, despite it being an earlier level in the game. It is the second level in Sonic 2. And compared to the first, where you can just kind of blast through it, Chemical Plant, particularly Act 2, and this is the closest you're going to get to that, it puts you underwater kind of like this. Sonic's movements are a little bit more sluggish underwater, so you have to keep that in mind. But pretty much everybody's least favorite part of Sonic 2 in the Chemical Plant Zone is a part where you're submerged underwater, and there's these little platforms, you know, stairway-shaped platforms that change positions. And the reason why everybody hates it is because not only do you have to go, you know, up these kind of alternating staircases, but you have to do it as the water rises, so you don't have a lot of time. You know, if you slip more than once, you're either going to fall to the bottom, which I believe is a bottomless pit, and you'll die that way, or the water will submerge you and you'll drown, which takes a little while. Yeah, the floating platforms you have to jump from, which in this game, again, they dumbed this down a little bit. I'm not going to say it's completely different, but, you know, it's based on the Genesis game. It was re-released in 2011. Obviously, it was meant more to be a fun little reimagining of it. I'm just being honest. I'm not saying it's, like, drastically different. I mean, if you've played the original Chemical Plant Zone, this will be fine, but there's actually a shortcut. It's kind of hard to show you without the game. There's a shortcut in Chemical Plant to skip that entire section I just mentioned. Now, the trade-off is that shortcut is a risk of its own. It's a ramp you have to take, and you have to basically be very good at timing. Not for the ramp. For the ramp, you just have to have enough speed. But assuming you get up the ramp, in order to progress, you have to go, how do I explain it? There's like a really narrow platform or very narrow passageway, and there's one of those stairs that goes up to down. So you could very easily get crushed. It's just a matter of timing. The good news is if you do this, and this is, again, I don't know how I figured this out. If you do this, you go straight ahead of it, but then you stop, and you basically go backwards. It's really hard to explain without a map in front of me. Hey, what's up? I see Lena Rem here. Heyo, heyo. Uba Purple Biscuits, Paimon's favorite. Okay, I don't know what that's about, but this is the most Sonic I've talked, actually. Where's the warp zone? Do you mean like the special stage? There really is no warp zone if you're talking about like a Mario type of thing. Alright, let me get in the zone here. This is one that I always love this level. This is a 3D reimagining of Chemical Plant Zone, but it is a very fun level to try and get like the fastest time on. I've probably lost a step since I used to play this all the time. Used to be able to do this in like under 2 minutes. We'll see if I can do it, but yes, whatever Rem said there, I can't say it's valid or invalid because I don't really know, but I'll say when I got this game, meaning Sonic and Shadow Generations, I basically just focused on the Shadow part, so I've not played a lot of the Sonic part, even though, I mean, I've played it, but it's kind of like you get a new game, it's like, well, I'm going to play the part that's remastered. Oh, I fucking sucked at this. Hold on, I'm gonna do a redo here. Just for giggles here. This is not the Sonic DLC. It doesn't have to be. It's the entire game is Sonic DLC. But yeah, Chemical Plant Zone was always one of my favorites. This particular remake of it, anyway. Cheat to stop the cheat is just not to hit it. Like I don't know what to tell you there. I mean, like that right there, I hit it just because I fucked up. I don't know what to tell you. Sometimes that be what happens. Sometimes it doesn't, but in that case it did. Or Sonic Generations right now. Yeah, really there aren't that many cheats. Like there's level select cheats and stuff like that in the original Sonic games, but in game, I mean, what you're talking about is basically just kind of like get good, you know? Like you just have to kind of memorize level layouts, like I'm doing right now, to figure out where I'm going here. Not that I need to memorize it. I've played it so many times. Stay on the upper path is always a good tip. But again, they make the upper paths again very like easy to find in this particular version. I'm not really making good time here because I keep stopping. Which, stopping, you might imagine, would hurt your best time or whatever. You missed the I really did miss the fuck out of that thing. Right, hold on, I'll do the howdy after this level. This is like one level, now I kind of fucked it up again, but I usually don't get into time attacks and like trying to get the best time. This is one level I kind of do. I used to like love to try and beat my best time, which I think on Xbox was like a minute 54, which I'm not going to do at this point. But still, I could do this under 2 minutes, let's see. Again, I haven't played this version a super lot. I do like how smooth the frame rate is and everything. It's pretty awesome. Okay, that's going to help. Ooh, come on. Nope, just over 2 minutes there. Just barely. Can Sonic hydrate too? I don't think so. Did I even do the hydrate? I think I did, but I'll do it again. Alright, let's rock. Well, 2 minutes and 1 second is still my best time on the PS5 version of this game. I'm Sheriff Woody. Howdy, 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 howdy. I went really fast. Howdy, 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 howdy. Hey, you did go pretty fast. Alright, that's enough of that. More Sonic Generations right now. I saw a Rem on there somewhere. Something about purple biscuits or something. Alright, that was pretty fast, as it usually is. Let's check out the Metal Sonic boss fight now, as we traditionally do. Yeah, I suppose Sonic could hydrate. Don't see why not. More Sonic right now. We can go pretty good now. I mean, it's been kind of a half and half weekend. Worked on Saturday, which was yesterday. It was Saturday, right? And then we had the, no, wait. Fuck, I don't even know what day it is. I worked Friday, then Saturday. I didn't stream yesterday. I streamed, no, I didn't stream Pretzels. I streamed Mario Party on Friday morning. That was actually my last stream of January, hard to believe. January's over. We're moving on to a new month. We got the Super Bowl next week. I'm still inviting people over if they're interested in checking out the big game here at Casa de Gaines. Name is still a work in progress. But yeah, there could be some pretzels. I got some pretzels on hand. There'll be a lot of snacks, pizza, and more for Super Bowl 60. Yes, it is Super Bowl 60. Been a long time since they've been doing this here, Super Bowl here. And the thing I like about the Super Bowl is, even if you're not a giant football fan, like, I mean, I like football, but that's not even why I'm watching it. I mean, I am watching it. Like, to hate the Patriots, which usually I don't have to do, but stay back and don't touch him. Ooh. Bleib zurück und voll sich nicht. That's a tough one. That's probably not right. So I appreciate that challenge, definitely. Does he still have another hit? Yeah, I'd say bleiben Sie... Actually, bleiben Sie hinter is probably more right. Stay in the back. Stay behind them. Or would it be hinter? Yeah, that's actually tough. There's a lot of prepositions in there, and a verb. It's like bleiben sie, him. I'm gonna end up making this worse every time I say it. I think there actually is a German voice setting, if that helps you any. But don't touch him is a little tougher to translate that exactly. Chicken, no, that's not how you'd say it. You wouldn't say chicken for that. It is a verb, obviously, to not touch somebody, or to touch somebody, and then you just negate it with nicht. A lot of things in German work that way, but that is not one of them. I believe there is a German voice setting, to answer your question. I don't know. Technically, there is a different German they speak in Berlin than other parts of Germany. It's not just Berlin, but there's like what's called Hochdeutsch, or Standard German, which is kind of like, I guess it would be like in America, we have like a certain dialect of English that's mostly standard, but there are certain parts of the country that speak a slightly different dialect. Well, not so much, but in Germany and other European countries, even within the same country, languages can be a little different between them. Yeah, like sometimes you could say chimkin instead of chicken. It's not really the same thing, but let's go ahead and check out Sky Sanctuary Act 1, shall we? Blasting through this, or chuckin'. Yeah, we could say chuckin'. I don't know why we would, but we could if we're really stupid. Ouch! Alright, well, I got that. Hey, chicken, what are you drinking? Hey, yo! Oh, it's funny, actually. I am drinking, I only bring this up because Rem mentioned it the other day. The Cabo Citrus flavor of Mountain Dew, established in 1948, although not this flavor. Mountain Dew Baja Blast Cabo Citrus, a orange-infused tropical flavor that's not bad. I mean, good enough for a Saturday, Sunday. I keep thinking it's Saturday, it's Sunday. Perfect for a Sunday afternoon stream where Chaos Blue doesn't remember what day of the week it is. Because, why not? Hey, Hunchin, was trinkst du? I mean, it might. I don't want to get into that topic. At least not again. Hey, yo! Always want to take the higher route if you can. Again, this sometimes does come down to just doing the level enough times where you know what the higher route is, and it's not like going to catch you by surprise. Other times, it is a little bit of luck. Ooh, Skarku. Crystal Mall Chinese cuisine. Do they even have any more Chinese cuisine at the Crystal Mall, or is it just Sarku? They cook shark meat. Well, that'd be Sharku. Hey, yo. I know how to say things. Oh, damn it, I missed my chance there. To cut, like, maybe a very, very small amount of time off. If I didn't, well, look out. Hey, yo! Alright. All for a good time. That'll be probably Jenny at 8675309. Oh, no, I'm dead! That's the end of that. I guess I'm not calling anybody now. Except for the Undertaker. To take care of my body. After the death. Nice scenery, at least, eh? We got to see that scenery pretty nice. Oh, now the invincibility wouldn't even help me from a falling death like that. Hey, yo! Whoa, what the hell? Didn't feel quite right, did it? Well, no S rank for me here. Okay. Okay. Oh, here we go. The iconic collapsing platforms of Sky Sanctuary. Ah, oh, damn it, I missed that red ring. Basically, I had to play this level at least 3 times to get all the red rings, because they're all on separate paths, so that was not a particularly amazing run there, but hey, we did what we could. In the end, didn't even really matter. Alright, well, there we go. Let's see how modern Sonic fares in this same exact level. Red Rum? Yeah, no, I did get murdered a little bit. Let's see how modern Sonic fares in this same level right now. There are like little hidden chows and other things in this level. Like, I don't really look for them, but if I find them, great. I go off the path here a little bit. Doesn't seem to really matter. The alternate paths just kind of lead back to the main path at the end of the day, so there's that. Alright, that's enough out of you, Mama Chow. see an extra life under there. Did not even bother to go for it. And I think 22 lives should suffice, but we'll see. We do have a boss after this. Another classic Sonic boss. I probably will play the Casino Night minigame just to break it up a little bit. I usually don't play it, but when I can just focus on Sonic Generations, like that's just the game I'm going to stream, I feel like I have a lot more opportunities to do that, where I could just be like, oh yeah, we'll play every little side challenge or whatever, because there is a lot of content in this game. I mean, if you just go for the basic game, yeah, probably won't get more than a couple hours out of it, but if we're really going like hardcore here, which let's face it, we always go hardcore here on the Chaos Blur Network, that's when you might get a little more excitement here, a little more action, if you will, for that higher path. Alright, bitch, apparently. Or bitching right now. Oh, there's a red ring. See if we can get it right now. We got it right now. Alright, bitch. 70 stream streak. That is impressive, I gotta say. It really is. Ah. Oh, no! No! Not really, I'm dead. That's the end of that. Still get a good time, but no S rank now. Hey, yo. I love a little Sonic gaming. Whee! They really could, and they usually do. Yeah, this should be my best time, as long as I don't fuck this up. See if I do right now. I didn't! There you go. Unfortunately, no S rank, because again, we did die in there, and that does count against you. But in terms of time, yes, that is my best time at 2 minutes and 30 seconds. That is a good time. I don't remember what my best time used to be. Again, been a while since I played the original, but there's Knuckles. What's he up to? Whoa. I heard you got your paws on a red star ring. That's quite the hot commodity there. Thank you, Knuckles. That was useless. Before we move on here, let's play the Death Egg Robot. Always a classic time here. I'll call back to Sonic 2, which apparently is a game that IDM Pod may or may not have positive memories of. This was the final boss of that game. Here it's just the second boss of Sonic Generations right now. There it is. Simply named the Death Egg Robot. I don't think it ever had a name, so I guess I'll accept that. The Death Egg is on the Death Egg, and it is a robot, so not much else I can really say there. See if we can take him on right now. Alright. Kind of, I mean, catch me if I can. Yeah, that's not really the problem. I can easily catch you. You're, like, right there. Boom. This doesn't really get even remotely difficult until part 2 of this fight. This part you can kind of just forget about. Still cool, like, cinematic, though. I mean, if the original fight was this easy, it would not be a final boss. The original is not this easy. It's not the hardest thing once you get used to the pattern, but this should set up part 2 of the fight, which at least does take you in some different directions, and it does reference that excellent boss arena from the original game, which I do love. This is, of course, the Sonic 2 final boss reimagined. Joe. Ouch, no! Oh, he was not having that. Yeah, I understand. I'm all too familiar with the bombs, but yeah, he's not having it. He sees what I'm trying to do, and he is not getting fooled at all. Oh, where the fuck's the arm? Oh, of course, he throws his arm all the way fucking over there. God damn it, I really am fucked. Right, hold on, generate that. Uh-oh. Say, that's not gonna help matters. Yeah, I'm trying, dude. I gotta reach him. Got it. That's one hit. Still got one more to go. Take down old Robotnik right now. Ouch. And it still didn't hit him, by the way. Hit me something fierce, but did not hit him. Oh, this is very difficult. Watch out. We got a bomb here. If we can hit it, that would be fantastic. Got him. This should do it. See if it does right now. It did! Yeah, suck on that, Robotnik. Or Robotnik fighting right now. Hey, yo. Yeah, he's really taking it, isn't he? job. Hey, yo. Oh, so close to that A rank. Or to that S rank. We got the A rank, but we needed just another 6 seconds or whatever. Go Power Botnik! Okay, somebody's rooting for the bad guy. Me, I'm going to root for a little pinball here. We're actually going to do the pinball stage here real quick. I usually don't do this one, so it's a fun little add-on here. It was something you could download in the original game, but it was a little annoying to get to. I'm glad they just included it here. D rank for Deutsche Bag. Oh, 9. But I didn't get a D rank. I got technically I got an A rank. Which sounds bad. Like, it sounds like it should be good, but it's not the best rank you can get. Sonic's just that guy, you know, that kid in class that always wanted to get the best ranks. Speaking of which, I actually don't know what the point of this is, like, in terms of score. Like, I like playing it. It's fun, but I don't know if there's a certain score I'm trying to get to. We'll see if there is right now. Engineers replicate pinball gravity. I don't know. That's a good question. Almost every Sonic game that has pinball in it behaves slightly different. This one's not bad. Like, it does replicate sort of the heaviness of a pinball machine. Obviously, you got these other little side gimmicks that you wouldn't see on a real pinball machine, but it works. I mean, this was kind of an afterthought. I don't think this was in the original game. It was a mini-game that references an old Sonic level. So it works fine enough. I mean, Sega has experience with pinball games, past Sonic games and other games included. Could they have done better with this? Probably, but it is what it is. It's not even like, this isn't even required to beat the game. It's just a side little thing that I like to play sometimes. There's actually a surprising amount of content in this if you can just, like, unlock more stuff like that right there. Made the little ramp move or whatever, so yahoo for that. It's a deceivingly big table, basically, is what I'm trying to say. If you can understand the gravity of the situation, which is exactly what you were asking about. We did, right there. Love the jazz music, though. I can definitely get down with that jazzy music. Play that jazzy music, wop. Play that jazzy music right. Oh, here we go. All right, we got to the higher level. Whoa. Okay, all right. Kind of wish I get more of those little tokens to get points, but it's all right. All right, now we're on the higher path for now. What a path it is. I'm not really sure how you get like a bigger bonus or whatever. Do you know? Not really, no, if I'm being honest. Like, it's one of those games I played, and, like, I've actually probably won it a couple times. You know, clearing all the things without getting the mines. Like, that is generally the goal I shoot. Oh, this part's kind of cool. Almost never see this part. But, like, in terms of actually playing it, not just, you know, dumb lucking my way through it, no, not really. I've had it explained to me a few times, too. And it's like, I got it, sort of, but obviously not enough, because I'm not exactly the Minesweeper champion that some would have you believe I am. More admissions of guilt right now. Hey, yo. Free Cell. Isn't that like the same idea? I've heard of that game. I don't know if I've played it. It sounds like another one of those games that just comes on like old Windows 95 computers that is a little time killer, but not much to speak of other than that. I just like the old... Oh, damn it. I just like the old like intergalactic pinball game that came on some Windows computers. Not all. It was just called Pinball, but it was like a space version. It was pretty fun. Kind of like this, actually. It kind of felt like this. Obviously, different, but it's on Windows, whatever, Windows 95, maybe even went up to Windows XP, but whatever it was. A fun little time, all things considered. Hey, yo. Oh, here we go. We got the higher route again. Solitaire. Hey, yo. I mean, I don't know why you had to say in the bedroom. I've obviously played Solitaire, the game, like on various computers and other things, but in terms of the context that you may or may not be referring to, I cannot really say if that's what we're getting at, but we'll find out. Hopefully never. As you know. How I am about that. Yeah, we got the Super Bowl coming up next week. In addition to the Super Bowl party, probably we'll have a little stream of some kind where we maybe simulate the game, or I don't know. We usually do something. Chaos Bowl. I think we're on like Chaos Bowl 5 or 6 now. Microsoft. It might have been called Microsoft Pinball, or it might have just been called Pinball, but yeah, it was primarily on Microsoft machines, which most machines were back in those days. It's a fun little game, though. I mean, I liked it the most because it was what it said it was just pinball, you know? Nothing you really had to learn, just hit the ball, you know? That's what we did. Pinball. I feel like there's got to be a way to get more points than like 10 or 50 points per shot. That's just going to take forever to get any progress whatsoever here. And I don't think we get anything. Ah, damn it. I don't think we get anything for getting like a super high score here either. I think it's just giggles. And I do enjoy a good giggle, but at some point it's got to be more than just giggling going on here. It's got to be more than just solitaire in the bedroom, you know, to keep us going. Oh, that was actually really neat there. Oh, that was awesome. A little loop-de-loop there. Very Sonical. It's too bad this is the only representation of Casino Night in the game. It's not a real level. It's just a pinball reference. I think this is how you get more points, maybe. Alright, there's something, right? Rings. Alright, we got some rings there, which I believe they fall in the course. They're worth some points, so... Go for those rings. They're worth 100 points a ring. That's already better than we were doing before. I think I saw some of them were 200. Who knows how these Sonic game physics work sometimes. The jazz music is definitely keeping it real, though. Oh, we got the higher level again. Let's get that going. I wonder if there's still more rings, like, from before. Doesn't seem like it. I think we already collected them all. I don't know what getting those little medals does. It doesn't seem to really do anything. Or maybe, no, it gives you more coins, I think, for the slot machine. I don't know. I only play this one once in a while. As rarely as I play Sonic Generations, I play this part of it even rarer. More rarely. So let's see. We can only use like 5 at a time, it looks like. Actually, I think I have. Not often, but like I understand the premise, and I know that it's like I don't know what the main use of it is, but it's something to do if you have like bad circulation in your feet, which I have had at times, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give these a try. Like, what is it, copper tone or whatever? Like, not gonna say I wear them all the time, but yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a downside to them. I'm not gonna say they super help me, but they certainly haven't hurt. All right, so that was a fun little game. Like, the rings are still falling all over the place. All right, like I said, that's just a little side activity. Still like to do it. Speaking of levels, though, we're going to get back to them here with Speed Highway, Act 1, which we'll be playing as Classic Sonic. Of course, one of the most iconic levels in Sonic Adventure. I forget how fast these loading screens are in the remaster. I'm used to, like, the original Sonic Generations. I would have had time to, like, take a drink or something. Here, it's like, nope, the game's already loaded. Just jump right in. It's nice. I mean, like I said, this game didn't need a remaster, but if they're going to do one, at least do it right. You know, have it be, like, better than the original in terms of how it plays and everything. And I'd say they did that. I'd say definitely as fun, if not a little more fun than the original, which is how it should be, you know. Again, this is not a game that I needed to play again, but for people who never played the original, definitely the best way to experience it, I'd say. All right, here we go. A little reference here to the Rocket and Sonic Adventures. I mean, a lot of little Sonic references here in the Sonic game, go figure. Good platforming all around. You know, it's not always about blasting through as fast as you can, especially in these classic levels. They're a little bit more like mazes. Not like super difficult to navigate mazes, but you just never know what you're going to see on each playthrough. You know, this time you might see this. I'm going to see if I can get in the parking garage. It's sort of a hidden-ish area. Yep. Here we go. A little shortcut maybe, maybe not. Of course, one of my favorite levels in Sonic history, so I'm not adverse to playing this in any form. I like the classic version. They kept the bells here that were in the Dreamcast version that would give you extra rings. Always nice to see that little reference there. They kind of contextualize it a little bit more. Now they're inside a building like a hotel or something, rather than the original game. They were just kind of floating out like nowhere. They were just there, you know. But that's a lot of classic games, you know. You see a gimmick, it's like, why is that bell just like there? It's like, no, it's part of a hotel. It makes sense. It still doesn't really, but hey, it's a Sonic game, you know. You take what you get. This part here, really cool here with this giant sort of like death-defying city fall. Obviously, you don't want to fall here. It could not be good. Falling, of course, is very bad for your health. Gonna try to take this higher path here. We got it. In general, especially in Classic Sonic, always good to take the higher path if you can. So that's pretty good. Yeah, sorry. Don't want to run into that guy without having like a spin dash ready or something. Okay. Alright, pretty good time and pretty good level. Like, I mean, that was very solid. I always love the flow of these levels. They're very good. Very well done. See if they're well done enough for me to get an S rank right now. And it looks like they are, so that's pretty good. Not my best time. Was it my best score? It was my best score. All right. It's always a positive to be taken from this. I like some of the references here. They're not, I don't know if they were in the original game or not, but like it says E123 Omega Road. That's a reference to E1 and 23 Omega. You see Blaze Road on the right. That's obviously a reference to Blaze the Cat. So, well, cool stuff that they didn't have to do. They threw in there as a background element. That, again, doesn't really change the game any, but some of those characters didn't exist when those games came out, so just nice to see. They did keep this here, how you can grab onto the helicopter, but they made it a lot more beneficial. Whereas in the original game, grabbing onto the helicopter was just a very brief spectacle. Here it actually gives you a whole other route to the level. So it definitely pays to pay attention to that. Just grab it if you can. Something that I usually do. But again, if you've never played the level before, you're not really going to think to do that. But that's why I like it. Also, hold on. Okay, there's nothing there. I thought maybe there was like some, like, you know, I played this game a bunch of times, but sometimes you find something you didn't see before. You don't know. I don't like to be like, oh, I've seen the whole level. Like, yeah, but there could still be something. This game came out like 14, 15 years ago, the original did. Oh, I missed the spin dash there. That's ugly. It's always ugly when you miss the way the game's supposed to be played, because then it just makes you look like you're just terrible at the game. It's like, oh, you didn't hit that button exactly the right time. You suck. It's like, not really. I mean, as long as you don't die or take too much damage or whatever, it's all good. This here is kind of an optional shortcut. Does help you out a little bit, though. Now we proceed on to this part, which is a huge reference to Sonic Adventure, which is the game that this originated from. Every level in this game came from a previous Sonic game, or has a previous significance to it. Some more iconic than others. I really do love this level, though. I don't know what level they would have picked for Sonic Adventure if not this one. There are some really good ones. I missed the red ring. In here, there is an inside path you can take, and I just did. Again, a little more difficult, but does provide a shortcut opportunity. How much time it really saves, I don't know, because you still kind of end up right back here. It doesn't look like it saved that much time, actually. Just more of an opinion, which way you'd rather go. It's not really an opinion. It's just, it is what it is. Yeah. Whee! All right. Right back on the road here. Basically, if we go by that timer, I'm like 0.17 seconds ahead of my previous time, so basically not ahead at all. Like, any little thing could throw me off here, and that's whatever. It's part of the game. Most of my best times in these games were within, like, a second of each other, so you play these levels so many times, there's only so many shortcuts you can really take, and I think this is it. Like, that's the end of the level there. A little over 2 minutes on that one. We'll see if it's good enough for best time. Probably not. Oh, it is! All right. Yeah, never mind. I lied. Yeah, we're just cruising through this right now. Which will happen sometimes. Sometimes I'm just terrible at these levels, and we have to watch me replay them a bunch of times, but in this case, hey, why not? So I'm sort of playing these in chronological order because that level was from Sonic Adventure. This was the final boss of Sonic Adventure, so this is kind of like keeping the games together. I don't technically think they appeared in this order in Sonic Generations, but the Sonic nut in me, the OCD part of me, it's like, oh, I have to do this in order. Like, I play this boss before I go to the 5th level. Whatever. I don't know. There's no right or wrong way to do this, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But if there was, I'd probably find it. It's not, so I'm not going to. More right now. Exactly what I'm going to be doing. I like how they kind of changed this up a little bit. It's not a supersonic, ouch, not a supersonic fight anymore. It's just about getting to the boss and hitting him. Yeah, exactly. Just like those ads for eating Reese's. I'm sure there is a wrong way to do it, but it's not this way. That's for damn sure. So there's a hit there. Again, that part is very much like the original. Here they sort of like amped it up a little bit to make it more of a platforming challenge. So you just have to kind of stay ahead of the boss here as he destroys the environment behind you. It's sort of cool here. They added a little 3D section here as well. I mean, this was on Dreamcast originally, so this was a 3D level entirely. Here it does a little bit of both. Watch out. Okay, I feel like in actuality Sonic would be kind of fucked here, but going up against something this big. But hey, there happens to be some convenient little like ramps and things to kind of catapult them up, so why not? It works, right? It's getting the job done. Sonic Generations is a funny game. Came out in 2011 as the 20th anniversary of the first Sonic game. and it came out on PS3 and Xbox 360, so it was already in HD. Like, it already kind of looked like this. They didn't do a lot to upgrade the graphics here. But the version I'm playing is the 2024 remaster. So yes, remaster is very loosely used here. To me, this game looks almost the same. Maybe it's in 4K instead of 1080p, but this game looks almost the same to me. It might perform a little bit better. But yes, it is basically HD remasters. The original game's premise was you go back in time and you fight some of these iconic fights, but now they're modernized, you know, quote-unquote modernized. And same with, like, it's really more significant on the classic levels. Like, this level really is not that much different than the Dreamcast version. It just looks better. But, how can they put TM... I'm sure they could if they haven't already. That's the arcade game, right? I mean, I know they've proposed various remasters, and they might have even made one, of Turtles in Time on Xbox 360, where it, like, runs a little better. But, modernize the QTE. There are some QTEs in this game, I think. Oh, no, Sonic Unleashed has one of the QTEs. QTEs are one of those things that kind of, like, they never went away from gaming, but, like, they're not really as popular as they used to be. There was a phase in, like, this was 2011, but I'd say the phase for QTEs was, like, 2002 to, like, 2008, where it's like every game had QTEs as part of the, like, I don't know, boss fights or something. Like, it was supposed to make it look more epic. You know, you were Kratos fighting a giant Kraken, but instead of just, you know, fighting the Kraken, you had to hit the X button at the right time to hit his neck, you know what I mean? Like, it was fine, but anyway, I'm going to backtrack here. Oh, there really are some cuties at that Avalon Club. How does Avalon keep coming up? I keep hearing that name. I know it's a dance club, but I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I can't say I've been there. If I have been there, it's been a long time. I think I was at the one at Foxwoods, whatever that's called, like Rainforest, a long time ago. They all blend together to me. And I've pretty much always lived somewhere between Foxwoods and Mohegan Sun, so it's not even like one is really far out of the way. Like, I can go to either one and despise them just as much. I do enjoy me dying. Hey, what's up? I actually, because your text...
It's Herpy.
I'm just gonna let this finish.
Murphy. Hello, Big Mac.
Because Big Mac and ID and Pod have the same color text, I honestly thought that comment was also ID and Pod. I'm like, man, he made 2 comments really quick. And then I saw it was another user. So what's going on? Big Mac, welcome to the show. Got some Sonic Generations here, one of your favorite levels. At least from SA2. This isn't the same version, but also kind of funny there's an ad for Perfect Chaos there. We are here now. Disney Channel presents the I do enjoy some well-timed. Yeah, I would. It's just funny how he said that, and then I immediately died. Because this level does have some little quirks in it with the platforming where, yes, you can die. But I did like the way this game handled, like, you know, what if SA2 was a 2D game? What if, you know, the original game was 3D? Like, you know, this is what a 2D cityscape would look like. And I could see this with, you know, the truck chasing you. And then what's really cool here is the truck swerves into the background. So, like, if you're not careful, you can get hit by it again from the background angle. Orange. Are you? On my reading, and again, this is not definitive, but on my Streamlabs, and I don't have a lot of time to look sometimes, but I just see both red names. I think on the chat box, you might show up as red and orange. Again, it's a minor detail. Doesn't matter to me. Now that I'm used to you both being here, I'll just remember to call you both the proper names. Just, whoa, that was a glitch. That's all good. Oh, no! I almost never get knocked into that area there. Again, most of these are just delays. Like, it's not like... The game makes it look like if you miss a jump, you're going to, like, just be really screwed. All you do is miss, like, a little bit. That's all. Like, you might just have to take another 10 seconds of the level. Doesn't mean, you know, I still want to do the best and make it through the level with the best possible route, but that doesn't always happen. I love the skateboard that they added here. It's a power-up that did not exist in old Sonic games, but it was for this level. Ooh, piece of candy. Oh, Uberdeutsch. All right. Well, time to lose everybody who's not Big Mac. Including me, because we'll see how my German is. Here we go. Los geht's. Alles klar. Das ist meine erste Zeit. Deutsch sprechen Februar. Februar? Ja. Dieser Monat ist Februar. Und nächste Woche kommt der Super Bowl. Das klingt toll, oder? Naja, ich weiß schon, das Super Bowl ist egal zum Big Mac. Sonic Generations, ja. Sonic Generations, die Sache. Wie sage ich das auf Deutsch? Ich habe nicht hier zu sagen. Okay, wir haben dieses Niveau komplett. Naja, mein Deutsch ist heute sehr schlecht. Entschuldigung. Es tut mir leid. Ich habe die meisten Ringe bekommen. Ja. Ja, es wäre gut, wenn Big Mac mein Deutsch Übersetzer würde. Ich habe dort ein A bekommen. Ja, danke. Das ist nah genug. Ja. Ja, das stimmt, trotzdem, los geht's. Ja, das stimmt auch, ja. Ist Solid Snake besser als Kratos? Ich verstehe die Frage nicht. Was würde ihm besser gemacht? Sie sind verschiedene Figuren, meiner Meinung nach. Ja, Akt 2 jetzt. Nein. Ja. Ja, das stimmt, ja. Ich liebe es, wenn Big Mac meine Fälle übersetzt. Es macht viel Spaß. Ich habe einen roten Ring bekommen. Scheiße. Was? Wirklich? Ist das wirklich, was ich gesagt habe? Wenn du... ich habe nichts. AMA. Ich habe nicht. Was hast du nicht bekommen? Ich habe... Warte, du hast wohl diese Einlungen besorgt? Ich dachte, es wäre Big Mac. Es ist nicht meine Schuld. Ich habe nicht so viel zu sagen hier. Ja oder nein? Das wäre eine gute Frage für Big Mac. Ich habe noch nie Käsespätzle gehabt in der Vergangenheit. Aber ich glaube so, ja. Es ist mir lustig, das zu lesen, ja. Habe ich, oh, thank God it's over. Habe ich E-Mails, Coffee Blaze eingekauft? No, I've never shopped there. This would be a good question to Big Mac. I was gonna say, because I've never had it. That's all I'm saying. Like, it looks to me like sort of a form of mac and cheese, Käsespätzle. But I don't know if that's exactly what it is. See, it's amazing how I can use more words in English now. As this truck file. I was basically not focused on this level at all, as I was trying to get the German right. That one sentence I thought, when I said hast du getan, I meant getan, like the past tense of done, like what have you done or something, but maybe that just didn't come through right. Hey, what's going on, Thanos? She shows up right at the end of the German part, so now we can understand the stream, which is, I'm sure, helpful to everybody. Hafsu Gatan. Yeah, I know. When I speak German, especially on streams and all the noise and stuff, it probably doesn't sound right, even if I was speaking it right, which, let's face it, I'm not. It's always, like, humorous to me to see Big Mac's attempts to translate me, because I know he's right, but it's like you could, that's why I said, like, I love when he translates all my mistakes. That's what I was trying to say with Fela. Possible that well, no, I was saying Gatan, G-E-T-A-N, like, was habe ich getan, what have I done? Which I don't know if, like, not what have I gotten. Well, I did say what have I gotten a couple times, because I thought that was becoming. What a regiment. Yeah, what was your question about regimes? Like, if you pause a regime, when do you resume a regime? Like, yeah, I did not... I'm not even sure I understood that question in English, so I was like, I don't know the word for regime in German. Maybe I do, but anyway. Let's see what Shadow's up to, huh? Our old pal Shadow. Well, if it's my old pal Shadow. You got this great Bobby Gaines. Well, then, I mean, either way, I don't think I even said it right. I always hated the word Gatan. I usually do gemacht. Now, it's one of those where I don't know why I went the way I did. I'm like, I could have just said gemacht. Why did I say Gatan? Because I don't like that word. I don't like the word. I think tune is the present tense, and I occasionally will revert to Catan. I'm like, why? I don't really need to say that. Es ist einfach machen oder gemacht zu sagen, I think. The thing is, I can speak German better when I'm not, like, asked to. Like, if you need me to say a German phrase here and there, I will. But, like, to just go straight to German in a more conversational way, that is the challenge. But that's why I don't mind it, obviously. That's why we're doing it. Alright, this challenge here can take a while, or it can be really fast, depending on how I do. Let's see how I do right now. It's a fun enough premise. You're just zooming around this final rush-looking place, trying to collect more of these things in shadow. Oh, shit! Oh, damn it. Did you get that one? Look. I mean, it's easy to misunderstand when my German is not always pronounced so well. I've had Duolingo and other programs misunderstand me constantly when I say a word. I'm like, no, that's not what I wanted to say, and you know it. Like, it was not that word. And why would I say that word there? The context is, makes no sense. Is it first to 2 or first to 3 here? I don't even know. I think it's first to 3. Like, the first one to get 3 of those words is the special move, which for Shadow is just kind of a pain in the butt for me. But if I get it, I have a chance to end the fight, which remains to be seen if I actually will end the fight in any reasonable amount of time. Alright, that should do it. I don't know if it's gonna beat him, but I don't know. I said a lot of things. My favorite part was like Big Man, what's his name? ID and Pop being like, I paid for this, and then I got like 45 seconds of silence, and I'm like, well, first of all, you didn't pay for this. I'm pretty sure Big Mac did. And, like, I'm not going to just make myself say things unless there's stuff to say. And I just didn't think there was a lot to say at that point. Gladly, you know, if I had more to say, I would have said it. Nothing to do with not knowing it. Well, I guess part of it is not knowing how to say it, but... Alright, we got to take out Shadow here. Got him! Sometimes this fight goes on forever, so I'm kind of glad it didn't that time. Hey, yo, alright, anyhow, what are we doing here? Did you ever discover you naturally knew a language you never... No, I wish I did, because that would make this German thing a lot easier. I wouldn't say naturally. I would say maybe some things in German come a little more naturally to me than others. The ones that are more English adjacent, because there are some things in German that are more translatable to English. Some things are not, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But definitely, it is kind of a mac and cheese dish. Spätzle. I wasn't sure if Spätzle was, like, more comparable to cheesecake, like more of a dessert, or if it is, like you said, a pasta dish. I always kind of went with pasta dish, maybe because I didn't know any better, but my subscription last month, I paid with my attention. Hey, yo, well played. A little bit of a liberal use of metaphor there, but I get you. All right, right now it's time for Seaside Hill. That's classic Sonic. We are cruising through this. That's alright. That's why I don't stream a lot of Sonic games. I mean, I love playing them, but, like, you can get through them pretty fast, so... That's sort of a little time killer, you know. To me, they work very well. I have fun playing them. I don't have fun doing that, though. I have fun playing them. Hopefully you have fun watching them. And, you know, a lot of stuff to do here in this game. Even beyond the levels on offer, there's other stuff to do, so that's... Wait, what? I'll have to see what that means momentarily. A new reward when you speak flagrantly for 4 You guys are, like, really obsessed with me talking. Like, again, if I had more to say, I would say it. And I generally, most of my talking is, like, at the beginning and maybe end of streams. Like, you know, during gameplay, I mean, that's kind of it. Like, I'm just kind of, you know, talking. It just depends on who's on the stream, which, thankfully, we do have a couple people here. We got Thanos as well. We got people who are, you know, more talkative, and so that lends me to talking more, unsurprisingly. Although, as you rightly pointed out, IDM Pod, I do sometimes talk with nobody watching, so I like to adapt to the situation if I can. What's a Thanos? Well, that is one of our beloved users and also a villain from the MCU, but Thanos the Titan is the name he goes by. Actually, I think he's also known as Thanos the Titan in Marvel. I think he is a Titan whose name happens to be Thanos. Yeah, I've got quite a few viewers. I am proud of that. I'm very happy to, you know, see people, you know, Shad, Zero, Big Mac, IDM Pod, Thanos, Pretzels, Rem, Toaster. I'm just naming off names here, and that's not even everybody. Of course, we got Randy, who occasionally shows up here and there. Markiplier, I don't think I've had him on my streams, but obviously I know him. Very familiar with his work on YouTube and all over the place. What if Sonic game... Oh, we're going to have to read this in a moment. You can already tell looking at some of the streams or some of the comments, like, oh, what can I read really quickly and move on, and what do I have to, like, really pay more attention to? That looks like one I gotta pay more attention to. I can't just read that and be like, oh yeah, good idea. Like, might need a little more time to chew on that one, to ruminate. I mean, in terms of Sonic games, and again, I haven't read the whole comment, but Sonic games that involve some kind of twist, I'm guessing. You know, I don't want to say I'm down for anything, but, like, you know, I feel like Sonic Team has gotten pretty safe with their Sonic games. Sonic Frontiers was a nice diversion, but it would be interesting to see what else they could do to maybe freshen this formula up. I mean, Sonic is going to be turning 35 this year. First game was in 1991, so as much as I love this game and I love the formula Sonic has had for many years, you don't necessarily have to stick to that. You can mix other things in like Nintendo does with Mario. What if Sonic game, but with monster taming elements? You collect the Chow animals, let them do some... Okay. I mean, it's not a bad idea. My thing with any of those kind of ideas is I honestly just don't have faith in Sega to execute it. Like, they try to involve things like that. I mean, not really. I think, like, the Coco and Sonic Frontiers are supposed to be like the new Chow where you collect them and they give you a little boost, but obviously it's not what you're talking about. What you're talking about is a really cool idea, especially when you consider SA2 and how you could get, like, different animals and stuff to soup up your Chow. So you could have one that could fly, you could have one that could go underground, like... A very good idea, but do you trust Sega to come up with that? Because I don't. I think Sega would just be like, oh, look, we made, like, a fish or something. Like, you can go in the water for, like, a second. Like, I don't know. I really want to believe Sega could do something that elaborate and have it be worth adding to the game. They could absolutely do it. I mean, the Chow were in other games, but what did they really do outside of, like, extra game content? So it would be nice to have them impact the game in more ways than that. Wow, I can't even get past here. Say, give me the drop dash the one time that's going to be useful in the modern setting. I always really like this level, too. I'd like to continue liking it, but it's kind of hard when it's not letting me like it. Okay, I took a very weird route here, but that's alright if it works. Yeah, I mean, I've also thought of ideas like that, stuff involving robots, where you could, like, build your own robot and stuff, just because that's a little more Sonic-esque. Although, so are the Chow, obviously. There was a history there with Chow with Sonic games that Sega, like, refuses to acknowledge after SA2, other than a reference here and there. Like, there's even Chow in this game. It's a little hidden MacGuffins, but, I mean, they're not really crucial to anything. It's, like, weird. Like, Sega has had some good ideas that, you know, were a little bit out there, but they were good ideas, but it's like they just want to ignore them and be like, no, we'll just stick with, you know, the general boost to win. I mean, I'm not going to say boost to win, even though I just did. Like, I think the games are a little more complicated than that, but you could definitely make the argument that they've simplified them, maybe to appeal to a wider audience, especially with the Sonic movies finding success. They want those Sonic movie watchers to play something that's more simple. Not that, you know, kids like games with a little more depth to them. I think kids would like a game where you know, can add a Chow to your lineup and have them do different tasks. I think that would be really fun, but... You know, it just depends on if Sega's willing to go in that direction. Are they willing to invest the time and money to make that a thing? Or are they just like, hey, look, we sold a bunch of games doing it this way. You know, how many more games are we going to sell by adding a Chow into it? Sure. And, like, you know, could that potentially be a downgrade? Like, could that end up messing up the game? Opening day for Yard Goats, you in. When is that? I mean, they can't start that soon, right? Because baseball season doesn't start till, like, at least March or April, so they'd have to be probably after that. Let's bring back the Child Guard and have them act as a little help. Yeah, no, that's basically what you're proposing, and I like the idea. As an SA2 fan myself, I always thought the Chow Garden added a little incentive to play the game again, outside of just playing the game, because you got to raise these Chow creatures. While I was not a huge fan of the Chow races, I think having them actually work in the level would be a lot better. And it could even alleviate the whole, like, playable characters thing. So, like, instead of having, you know, Knuckles playable, although they should still have Knuckles playable, but say you don't have Knuckles playable. You have a wall you want to get through. You need, like, a super strong Chow to do it. Like, I think that's a fine idea. It almost makes too much sense. Like, it's like, oh, just do that, right? Because they have a history of using Chow, so let's do that. But will they? I don't know. And again, I realize that IDM Pod's comment kind of got lost there, because, I mean, I do enjoy the Yard Goats as well. I believe the Savannah Bananas are coming this year, by the way, to that stadium. The Savannah Bananas are not even minor league baseball. They're like a very specific kind of baseball that I think would be a lot of fun to see live. And they don't really have a home team. Like, they're just from this area, from the Northeast, so they would probably be the home team there. And almost like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. I don't know. I just think it'd be a fun time. I forget when that game is. Probably in August or July or whatever. But I like your planning ahead, for sure. Because God knows, I will lose track of time. It'll be March before we know it. And then March will become April, and I'll still be sitting here going, oh, we should go to a Yard Goats game. It's like, well, you know, Heidi and Potts said it back in January, and I didn't hear him back in February. Still feels like January. Kind of like when the year turns over. It doesn't really hit you until maybe like a week or two later. Like, it still feels like January to me. I was just getting used to January, and now that's over. Creatures that are good for merch, too. Well, yeah. I mean, Sega has no problem with merch. They love selling some merch. Alright, so that was not great. That was not a great run of that level, huh? Hey, yo. But yeah, if you ever want a game that shows off the diversity of Sonic, definitely this game is it. Because we go from that nice little beach level. We're not going to play Perfect Chaos again. We go from that to Crisis City, which is anything but a nice little romp. It's a lava-filled apocalyptic city with monsters and all kinds of terrifying things. They did a pretty good job, actually, adapting this into a classic Sonic level. In a game that needed a lava level, this definitely does the job. More lava right now. Guys, we heard you wanted more lava, so gives a new meaning to the floor is made of lava. The street is made of lava. And much like in Sonic 06, you know, this level has a few problems, but it works. It gets the job done. More right now. Wow, okay, am I supposed to fall that far? I feel like, no, I feel like I messed something up there. Alright. No! Ah, I mean, it's not like a miss. Like, it's not like I'm screwed, but now I gotta take this harder route. No! Alright, now I'm kind of screwed. Sonic's on fire! Oh no, somebody put him out. Neil Young versus Neil Diamond. Alright, Battle of the Neils. Hey, the best Neil win. Find out who that is. Terribly. Don't know, actually. I would actually go Neil Young, but they're both pretty good. Obviously, Neil Diamond has, like, probably the more iconic songs, but I think Neil Young's a better musician. So if we're going on musical talent, I'd say Neil Young. But, I mean, I think if you ask most people, you know, who do you know more songs from? More people are going to know songs from Neil Diamond. He just has the iconic hits. Not that Neil Young doesn't have some good songs. But that's kind of a preference thing more than anything. No, I get it. Neil Kaepernick, because he was the quarterback that knelt for the national anthem. That was a little bit of a real-life reference thrown in there. Okay, I get with that. I see the appeal of the Neil right there in terms of that. A couple of popular Neils, but then in this case we took Neil and spelled it with the K for the verb to kneel, as in kneel for the national anthem, which is something that iconic, at the time, 49ers quarterback did. Colin Kaepernick, who, you know, started with a very strong NFL career, to be honest. A lot of people will forget that he actually played in the Super Bowl, like, in his first season. He backed up Alex Smith, and he had to go into a game. He ended up having a really good season. Took the 49ers to the Super Bowl, where they would lose to the Ravens. After that, I think his next season wasn't bad, and then he kind of just went off a cliff after that in terms of ability. I mean, obviously he's most known for his protests, but I think the main reason he never got back into the NFL, I think he might have been a backup for the Seahawks, but the main reason he never really got back into the NFL isn't because of his protest, but it's because he just never really got back to that Super Bowl form, you know. He was a good quarterback, you know. He was a good running quarterback, nothing amazing, but again, I don't want to get into like comparisons or who he was better than or as good as. Like, I still think he could have made it. There's a lot of quarterbacks out there who aren't number one who are still pretty decent. Phil Tilt Boogie, all right. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know who that is, but there's Boogie Cousins in the NBA. I don't think you're talking about him, though. I don't even think he's still playing. Better known as DeMarcus Cousins, who was a much maligned star for the Sacramento Kings, but arguably their best player before going over to, I want to say the Warriors, and then he was with the Pelicans for a short time playing with Anthony Davis. Didn't work out with either person. Might have won a championship with, what do you call it, the Warriors, but I think pretty much everybody did at one point. If you were on the Warriors like from 2015 to 2020, you probably won at least one championship because that team won all the time. Not all the time, but even so, you had a good time, I'll say that much. OJ versus Kobe, all right, that's an argument I'd rather not get into. But, I mean, in football, obviously OJ, and in basketball, Kobe. I guess I could get into that argument because it's a pretty easy one to contextualize. One was really good at football, one was really good at basketball, taking the allegations and the controversies out of it, because I know that's the main reason why people most notably know those two. More OJ for the allegations. So there were some allegations against Kobe, but nothing nearly as bad as OJ. So on paper, you might be like, oh, why are those two players so significant? It's like, well, because of that. Not for a good reason, but anyway. Let's check out the 3D version of this. What do you like at Texas Roadhouse? A lot of stuff, but as you might imagine, the ribs are my go-to. The baby back ribs, full rack or half rack, depending on my mood. Burgers are good. Never really had the steaks, like just the regular old steaks. I've had the pork chops, I've had the chicken. I've really had a lot of things there. I don't go there that much, but when I do, probably 2/3 of the time I'm getting the ribs, but they're a good restaurant. Much like Longhorn Steakhouse, which is sort of a rival of theirs in the same area. I'm not a steak. Yeah, you're right. I'm really not. Like, even when I think of other restaurants, like, plenty of restaurants have steak on the menu, obviously, but I'm not really going for it. You know, I'm sure it's good, especially at Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn. I'm sure it's superb, actually. But, you know, that's like going to a lobster place. I don't really eat lobster, but I'll eat some of the other things on the menu. I like some seafood. Not so much the lobster part of it, but that's neither here nor there. Whoa, oh, damn, all right. Oh, that was kind of my bad for even going for that. Nondescript Toaster restaurant. You know, Toaster has a pretty diverse food taste, I think. I mean, it's funny, I've hung out with him a bunch. We usually go to, like, fast food places, but sometimes we'll go to a nicer restaurant. And then we went to Cracker Barrel. We did go to Cracker Barrel last year after going to the Yankee Candle Christmas store. I don't know what you consider that. It's not like fast food, but it's not, like, super fancy. But it was fun. Good restaurant. I think we all kind of got, not like sick, like, you know, disgustingly sick, but I think the food was, like, just so dense. Not to make anybody sick now, but like, it was just so dense, you know, that food you get. The biscuits, the chicken, all of it. It's so good, but it's like a rock in your stomach. It's good, though. Really good. Well, yeah, I mean, all right, if that's how you want to see it, I can certainly understand that. Fun restaurant, though. Also had a gift shop where I ended up buying more stuff from the gift shop than I think I did at the Yankee Candle store, which was supposed to be the main draw in terms of buying things. But you know how I work. You could take me to, like, this really nice, you know, name a fancy place. I don't know. You could take me to that, and I'd be like, oh, that's nice. But then, like, take me to a little arcade right outside it, and I'll probably end up buying more. That's just how I do. But it doesn't mean I don't mind checking it all out. I did. Right then and there. Okay. Yeah, old white boy barrel never hurt nobody. Watch out! No! I'm gonna say that always happens, and yet I'm always almost somewhat surprised by it. And I really should not be. All right, 17-second advantage here. See how that goes right now. Watch out! No! Did you get hit by that rock? Car. Ouch! No! Oh, damn it, there was a red ring tucked right the hell in there, too. Who the hell was going to think to look in there? I don't know, but it wasn't me. Forget if I died there, because if I did, that's going to hurt my overall score. It is my best score, and the perfect bonus will indeed get me that S rank. So, what do I do now? I believe that there is a silver boss fight. We can check out here. The hub world was always a little bit weird to navigate, because you have to, like, go, like, kind of backwards and around at weird angles here. I'm just used to it. There we go. This fight was not really super well done, if I'm being honest. But then again, it's still better than the original fight, because Silver is a pain in the butt to fight. See how much of a pain in the butt right now. But yeah, he throws shit at you. That's his thing. Telekinesis, you know? Oh, what's that card doing here? Alright, well, we're going to throw it at you. What's that piece of scenery? Again, we're going to throw it at you. And that's it. Imagine how bad Gold the Hedgehog would be if he was a real character. This is what Silver does. Oh, alright. Fuck that up. Got him. Okay. Gotta watch my boost gauge here, too. Get out of the way! That's exactly... The game has to, like, tell you what to do every hit, because this boss fight does annoyingly change the rules, like, every second. So it's like... Sometimes the hints are annoying, but this time you kind of need them because this boss fight changes its strategy every, like, couple moments. So it's like, whatever you thought worked before, just kind of forget it. What's he gonna do now? Just straight up lasers? Gotta watch the boost, too. Okay, we're back to doing this now. Got him. The hardest part of this fight is the end, because I feel like there's just not... I don't know. Sometimes I get the end really easily. Other times it's like, really? We're doing this now? This is not the end of the fight. This time you gotta just, yep, drop back. Again, you gotta watch the boost now because, yep, he's gonna do lasers now, which are just completely out of nowhere. To the point where, again, the NPC has to tell you, look out, he's doing that laser move he does once in a while. And then you have to save some boost for the end. That's why I keep saying watch the boost. And now I'm kind of fucked because I don't have a lot of boost. It's almost like the fight is planned that way. Yep, because now he's doing this fucking bullshit. Alright, here we go. No boost. Got him. It's really hard to switch buttons, because if you let off the boost button while you hit the A button or the X button, you kind of have to. But sometimes you slow down too much. And I believe it's an instant kill if that giant ball of rubble hits you. I think it's an instant kill. I mean, it would make sense it would be. But anyway. There you go. Alright, so that's going to do it for me here today. Just sort of a short but exciting Sonic Generations stream. And, you know, sometimes that's all you can ask for. Here on the Chaos Splitter Network, I'd like to say we had some fun today. I'd like to say that, but I don't know how sincere I'd be. No, I'm just kidding. It was fun. This game is really fun to play and revisit, and I'm sure we'll see it in future iterations. But, yeah, for right now, this is Chaos Blur, or Bobby Games, whatever my name is. Wishing you all well today on your Sunday afternoon, evening. We will, of course, see you next time, and as always, stay chaotic. Blur out. Chaos Blur.